Hi, how's it going, guys? We're here talking some Penn State football on the Basic Blues channel. Um, we're gonna get into Maryland. To be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure of how I should feel about this game. Um, Based off of the previous matchups against them in 2017, we won, I think like 60 something to 3. 2018 we won 38-3. Then in 2019, 59 nothing. So we have absolutely dominated this series. We've won the last 4 years, and the last 3 years haven't even been very competitive at all. And even in 2016, I'm pretty sure they scored like 38-14. So the last 4 years have just been complete and utter dominance from Penn State. And hopefully we'll keep it that way because, this season, as far as playoff aspirations, as far as Big Ten championship aspirations go, those have ended. It's kind of a bust year in that sense, but Maryland, we can't let them beat us. Um, that's what I meant in my last video when I was talking about we still have this season, we still have a good season this year. If we just win out, because I feel like we can do that. I think we played the two toughest games on our schedule. Played two of the top 13 teams in the country, and I think that with Maryland, we can beat them and beat them handily, gain back some national respect, and if we win the rest of our games, we can get to a New Year's Six bowl again, win, and then hopefully next year we'll look for better. But well, anyways, getting to Maryland, they got Tua Tagovailoa's brother, Tulea, um, a guy that isn't as talented as his brother, but has shown to be capable of quarterback, probably better than anything Maryland's had the last couple of years. So that's a plus for them. I do not think that he will perform as well against Penn State as he did against Minnesota. Minnesota is a pretty big disappointment this year. They got blown out by Michigan, and then they lose to Maryland. I think Maryland is one of the worst teams in the Big Ten. They don't have very much talent on the roster compared to maybe what they'll have in a couple years because they're starting to recruit kind of well. But as of now, I think Penn State's definitely got the edge on talent and depth. And again, what it's been like the last few years, this is a series that Penn State has absolutely controlled, and I look for more of the same this year. We cannot overall. I don't even want to see a close game against Maryland. I want to assert our dominance in this series, and Maryland on the defensive side of the ball. I feel like we can expose them, but the problem is that we need to be able to put a complete game together. We haven't really done that yet in the Kirk Straka era. Um, as far as offensive coordinator goes, he needs to make sure to get this offense ready. And the problem is that when you have a COVID summer, COVID off season, and you're not able to work like you would a normal season, even in a normal season, when you have a new offensive coordinator, the first couple games are tough. And in a season like this has been, in a year like this has been, you can't have this type of off season and expect the offense to be clicking right away, even if you have a good offensive coordinator. And the problem is that it's not even just that our offense went up against good or crappy competition. Like we didn't play Idaho or Buffalo like we would have last year early on. We played two of the top 13 teams in the country, an elite team in Ohio State and a good team on the road in Indiana. And it's just it's difficult to really put together a great performance when you have that kind of an offensive coordinator shift and then all of a sudden you expect them to be working well together and it doesn't work like that. um, but I think that overall I want to see improvement by the end of the season. I think that unfortunately this is a year that was looked at in January as, oh, this could be a playoff year, and then over time just kind of turned into a, and let's just hope that we're not that bad year. And it's disappointing what it's kind of been. But I think Maryland is a good rebound game. I think we can uh, beat them handily, gain back some of that pride, gain back some of that national respect if we beat them handily, and then move on to Nebraska, Iowa, And then we got the Michigan game, and if we can beat Michigan, then that'd be back-to-back games against Michigan we won. We haven't won in the Big House for a while, even without fans. That'd still be a good thing to do. And like I said, against Maryland, they don't have that much talent. We should definitely dominate them. If this is a game into the heading into the fourth quarter, then there are no excuses, even with the coaching turnover we've had in losing Micah Parsons and Journey Brown. It's just not it's just not a good excuse if you say, oh well, we got coaching turnover, because this is a team that it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter coaching. Those players in the field should be able to just outclass the other players in the field for Maryland. And I look for uh, the running game to do very well. We should be able to just pound them on the ground like we can do to, I think, a lot of teams, except maybe like Ohio State. But we did it against Indiana, and I think Maryland is worse up front than Indiana is. So I think we can do some good things there. Hopefully, we see improvement in the pass game, put together a good, complete game. Then on the defensive side of the ball, as long as you don't let them chuck the ball everywhere like we did, like Ohio State did against us, I think that we will be fine. Tagovailoa is a whole lot worse than Fields is. They don't have nearly the same outside targets capability as Ohio State does, and up front on the O line, they are not nearly as stout as Ohio State is. And I expect to be able to get to the quarterback, stop the run. Make I think our secondary is better than the receiving core by a decent bit. I expect to see Joey Porter, Tyree Castro Fields, and Lamont Wade, Jaquan Brisker, the whole crew in the secondary to lock the receivers down. And I hope Tulea struggles, and then we can, at the end of the day, beat them, hopefully by very comfortable margin. Um, they haven't scored a touchdown against us since 2016. It'd be great to keep that streak alive. I don't know if, that's a very hard thing to do, even against bad teams, to keep them from scoring a touchdown. But that'd be great if we can do it. Let's take some pride in this season. Um, Still a lot of games left to play. A lot, even though national championship aspirations are done, there's still a lot of good things that we can do to help further this program and to build for next season. So, anyways, guys, tune in on Saturday. Don't give up on this Penn State team. Um, it's still Penn State football. We still have a good team. I know we're out of the rankings. I still believe that we have a good team. It's unfortunate that our first two games um, had to have been to the top 13 teams in the country, and um, it had to have been our first two games because we gotta develop um, from an offense coordinator standpoint coming in and having a new offense. I think we would have done a lot better if those were, say, our last two games or maybe our first two games. And well, anyways, guys, thank you. Happy to talk some Penn State football here. Uh, Thank you, guys. We are Penn State.